Trillion-dollar future space economy threatened by debris. Our world was made by nature with rocks contributing to a large chunk of the Earth's landscape. If someone came up to you and said that the same kind of rocks threatened our very space that is present outside the Earth, would you care to think for a moment and believe them? Well, we are here to tell you that if you don't believe them, you probably should. Because if things do not go in our favor, these rocks could send trillions of dollars down the drain. That's right, we're talking trillions of dollars here. Before we get into the video, make sure to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with all our videos. The space economy. Before we get into the problem our space faces, it's best to understand what the term space economic actually means. Space economic is defined as a complete range of activities and the use of resources that help create value and benefits for humans in the course of exploration, research, understanding, management, and utilizing space. The space around the Earth has a lot to offer. And if humans are good at anything, it's commercialization. So the idea of commercialization space is a no-brainer. Space economic is an ever-growing field and moving towards advancements with every passing day. There's a lot of development and transformation that's taking place in the space sector, and the integration of space into society and economy is going to be massive for our entire planet. The deployment of space infrastructure and technology makes new services possible and helps to apply the latest technology. The fields in which the space economic contributes largely includes energy, telecommunication, transport, exploration, research, aviation, and technology. These bring added economic and social benefits that will help people know more about what is in our space. Because outside our Earth, there's an entirely different world just waiting to be explored, and it's a massive one. The best thing about this space sector is that not only is it a growing one itself, it also is helping other fields grow. It's becoming a massive player in helping other sectors grow. Space and economics are two worlds being used closely together by us today because by the year 2030, it's expected that this industry will hit the valuation of $1 trillion. This is because the work being done is not only massive, it focuses on the commercialization of space and getting people to experience what space is like. When people themselves go out of the Earth and see what the great unknown truly is, they will only realize they need to invest in this venture. Sadly, not all of us can go into space, which is why the space economy is what we have and what we are putting our money into. Make sure we go on and discover all that we can out there. The aims of the space economy. The following aims are what the space economy is targeting. The first and foremost aim of the space economy is to increase the public's interest and investment in space activities throughout the globe, even those countries that are not actively involved in space missions. Getting those people of these countries to show enthusiasm towards this project will contribute significantly. This way, it might bring up opportunities for people in these countries. I'll bet rare that these opportunities will ever turn up. The level and amount of private investments are also rising as space ventures increase. This has led to more attraction from investors and higher expected profitability in the market. The revenues of the space industry are increasing as well, which is why investors are so hopeful of taking an industry like this forward. The development of space-based activities will also occur as fields like micro-launchers and space flights are increasing. Due to the investment of government and private-backed firms, space activities have risen in the last few years. A popular name is Elon Musk's company, SpaceX. More investment is going to result in more development. It's certainly not rocket science, no pun intended. Finally, the development of space throughout the globe is one of the most significant aims of having a space economy. Having an entire planet to ourselves is tremendous, but inhabiting a whole different planet is a task that is yet to be carried out. Do we have the necessary tools to carry out this task? Some of them might also arrive shortly, but that won't be possible if new people with innovations don't turn up. Integrating the love and admiration for space amongst the people will lead to a better society where people will ponder what is outside our planet and how we can get to it. These are the aims of the space economy, but these aims are currently under enormous threat. How so? All due to the large pile of debris present in our space. That's right, a pile of rocks has this trillion-dollar venture in jeopardy. The debris problem. The equipment that we've sent out to space has signaled the communications satellites that serve us with information daily are threatened by space debris. As per NASA, it's estimated that millions of pieces of space debris orbit around our Earth And a significant chunk of this debris objects, as well as active satellites, reside in the low Earth orbit region at altitudes of 200 and 1,000 kilometers. Piyush Mehta is an assistant mechanical and aerospace engineering professor at West Virginia University, and he has said, "In low Earth orbit, our ability to safeguard these space assets depends on modeling the aerodynamic forces acting on the satellites, specifically satellite drag. The drag force acting on a satellite is affected by various physical parameters. However, the most crucial and uncertain are the drag coefficient and mass density." He explained that this is because of the interconnectivity of two parameters where one is being held constantly. The one being held constant amongst these is the drag coefficient, whereas the other parameter is currently under investigation. Mehta also said that this causes inconsistencies in their understanding of the mass density variability in our upper atmosphere. The solutions. Mehta himself has most recently developed a state-of-the-art mass model density that will strengthen researchers' understanding, modeling, and forecasting of upper atmosphere variability. As this model does rounds among those who are learning in astronomy and astrophysics, they'll be breaking down Mehta's model to understand how this debris problem can be avoided, or rather if it can. Mehta adds, "We will achieve this by not assuming the drag coefficient to be a constant, but gaining statistical insights into the physical process that drives changes in drag coefficient, specifically the gas surface interactions that describe the way energy and momentum are exchanged between the atmosphere and the satellite." Mehta will leave a collaborative effort amongst some of the groups on satellite drag coefficient modeling under the International Space Weather Action Team's initiative. Mehta will also receive funding over 5 years for about $640,000 to advance this project, which will solve this problem of debris floating around in space that tends to damage our entire space economy. Apart from Mehta, the Startler College of Engineering and Mineral Resources in West Virginia plan to develop a new graduate course, Space Weather and Space Systems, offered every year in the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering. This, along with the new course, the college plans to expand its efforts using hands-on activities and courses for K-12 students across several states. These outreach efforts will establish a hands-on model of satellites and their activity in collaboration with the West Virginia Science Public Outreach Team. These activities will ignite the excitement and passion among the next generation to work in space sciences and take the goal of the space economy forward with all its might. Along with space economy, artificial intelligence will also be something that's going to be looked into because it is well along the lines of space and technology. This breathtaking piece of technology created by Mehta will potentially help solve the problems of avoiding tons of debris. His experimentation and research lie at the crossroads of atmospheric sciences, space systems engineering, and machine learning. With these three fields at the core of his study and the increased manufacture of satellites in low Earth orbit, the target is the space economy's sustainability. As he continues to work in his lab on the problem, out there in space, a rock just might be edging closer to one of Earth's most essential satellites in space. The more time we spend here, the more our trillions are in threat above the outer atmosphere. Avoiding them is a big ask, yes, but it will also take time for us to build on our technology to help avoid this threat, with Mr. Mehta being one of the contributors to help us out of this problem. Let's see how the coming generations help us out on this problem.